Americans consume over 16 billion pounds of seafood every year, making us one of the world's largest seafood markets. With that much seafood being eaten, you'd think every seafood restaurant would be amazing. But not all seafood chains are created equal. Today we're ranking America's 12 most prominent seafood chains from absolute worst to best. We're ranking on pure taste, freshness, proper preparation, and the kind of seafood satisfaction that makes you crave the ocean. Like, subscribe, and grab some cocktail sauce because we are about to shuck your opinions on seafood restaurants. Let's start with an obvious offender. Long John Silver's, the pirate-themed chain that's been sailing into rough waters for decades. Founded in 1969 in Lexington, Kentucky, Long John Silver's once had over 1,000 locations, but has shrunk to about 600 as quality and customer satisfaction declined. They built their brand on affordable fried seafood with a nautical theme, but the execution has become increasingly problematic. The fish often tastes like it's been sitting under heat lamps for hours, with breading that's either soggy or rock hard. Even their signature item, the classic fried fish meal, frequently arrives lukewarm with limp hush puppies and coleslaw that tastes like it came from a bag. Their lobster bites are actually made from langoustine, not actual lobster, and taste more like breaded mystery seafood than anything resembling premium shellfish. The whole experience feels like eating at a gas station that happens to have a fryer. Long John Silver's ranks last because while they pioneered fast food seafood, they've failed to maintain the quality standards that made them successful. Nowadays, this pirate-themed restaurant makes people want to abandon ship. Bubba Gump Shrimp Co. lands at number 11 as the movie-themed restaurant that's more about nostalgia than actual seafood quality. Founded in 1996 and inspired by the movie Forrest Gump, Bubba Gump has about 30 tourist-heavy locations worldwide. The restaurant coasted on Hollywood charm and movie memorabilia, rather than focusing on what should matter most, making great shrimp dishes. The menu leans heavily into the movie gimmick, with dishes named after characters and quotes, but the food itself is mediocre at best. The shrimp often tastes frozen and lacks the fresh, sweet flavor that quality shrimp should have. Most dishes feel like they came from the same industrial kitchen supplying chain restaurants everywhere. The buckets of shrimp come in various preparations: fried, boiled, coconut battered, but they all suffer from the same problem. The shrimp tastes like it came straight from the freezer aisle rather than the ocean. The sauces are overly sweet and mask rather than enhance the seafood. Bubba Gump ranks near the bottom because it's a tourist trap that prioritizes theme over taste. Joe's Crab Shack claims number 10 as the family fun restaurant that's gone downhill faster than a crab scuttling back to the ocean. Founded in 1991 in Houston, Joe's Crab Shack exploded to 140-plus locations in its heyday, but has contracted to about 30 restaurants as quality declined and competition increased. They built their brand on casual, messy seafood eating with dancing servers and beachy vibes. The concept was solid: buckets of crab, shrimp, and crawfish with Cajun seasonings that you eat with your hands. But cost-cutting has severely impacted quality. The crab legs are often tiny and difficult to crack. The shrimp lacks flavor, and worst of all, they use margarine instead of real butter for their signature crab dipping sauce. The seasoning blends that once made Joe's special now taste artificial and overly salty. The crawfish, when available, often tastes muddy rather than sweet, and the corn and potatoes that come with seafood boils are frequently overcooked and mushy. Joe's Crab Shack has sacrificed food quality for entertainment value, and even the entertainment has become stale. When you're paying premium prices for seafood, margarine instead of butter is unacceptable. Red Lobster sits at number 9, representing both the promise and problems of America's most famous seafood chain. Founded in 1968 in Lakeland, Florida, Red Lobster has introduced millions of Americans to seafood beyond fish sticks. They're famous for Cheddar Bay biscuits and endless shrimp promotions, but the actual seafood quality has become inconsistent. The biggest issue is that many lobster dishes like lobster pasta, lobster bisque, and lobster rolls often use langostino, a smaller, cheaper crustacean that's technically related to lobster, but tastes completely different. This bait and switch has frustrated customers who expect actual lobster. When they do serve real lobster, it's often overcooked and rubbery. The shrimp scampi frequently arrives with tough, chewy shrimp, and the crab legs are sometimes empty or contain very little meat. The preparation lacks the finesse that seafood requires. Red Lobster ranks in the bottom half because they've compromised on quality and honesty about ingredients. The biscuits are great, but they can't carry an entire seafood restaurant. Bonefish Grill earns number 8 as the polished casual chain that's more about atmosphere than exceptional seafood. Founded in 2000 in St. Petersburg, Florida, Bonefish Grill has positioned itself as upscale casual dining with a focus on fresh fish and seafood. The restaurants have nice ambiance and professional service, but the food doesn't quite live up to the presentation. The menu is diverse, featuring both seafood and land options, which immediately signals that seafood isn't their singular focus. The fish is generally fresh and properly cooked, but the preparations are often generic and lack the bold flavors that make seafood memorable. Their signature Bang Bang shrimp is genuinely good. Crispy shrimp with a creamy, spicy sauce that's become popular enough to appear in other menu items. The wood-grilled fish options are competently prepared, though not particularly exciting. Their cocktails get as much attention as the food menu, which tells you something about their priorities. The drinks are well made, but when you're at a seafood restaurant, the fish should be the star, not the bar. Bonefish Grill ranks in the middle because they deliver competent seafood in a pleasant environment, but they don't excel at anything specific. It's fine dining for people who want to feel sophisticated without challenging their palates. Rockfish Seafood Grill claims number 7 as a regional Texas chain that brings Gulf Coast flavors to landlocked areas. Operating about 14 locations primarily in Texas with 1 in North Carolina, Rockfish focuses on Gulf Coast and Cajun-inspired seafood that reflects the region's culinary traditions. They're more seafood-focused than many competitors, with dishes like crawfish etouffee and shrimp, and grits that show regional authenticity. The menu features several preparation styles for fresh fish: grilled, blackened, and peak-encrusted. This demonstrates versatility and skill. The crawfish etouffee has proper roux depth and spice levels that suggest someone understands Cajun cooking, while the shrimp and grits deliver creamy, satisfying comfort food. The Low Country Shrimp Boil shows attention to traditional preparation methods, and the variety of fresh fish options shows they are sourcing quality ingredients. The sides like dirty rice and hush puppies complement the seafood rather than just filling space on the plate. The limitation is scale. With only 14 locations, most people will never experience what Rockfish offers. Some premium items are market price, which can lead to sticker shock when the bill arrives. Rockfish ranks in the upper middle because they deliver authentic Gulf Coast seafood with regional flair. It's better than most national chains, but the limited footprint keeps it from broader recognition. Crab du Jour secures number 6 as part of the booming Cajun seafood boil trend that's taken America by storm. Founded in 2019 and rapidly expanding primarily on the East Coast, Crab du Jour represents the choose-your-own-adventure seafood boil experience that's become incredibly popular with younger diners. The concept is interactive and fun. You select seafood by the pound: crawfish, shrimp, mussels, clams, various crabs. Choose your sauce: Cajun, butter, garlic butter, lemon pepper. Pick your spice level and add sides like corn and potatoes. Everything comes in a bag that's cooked fresh and served with bibs and gloves. When executed properly, the boils are genuinely delicious. The seafood is fresh, the sauces are flavorful, and the hands-on eating experience is engaging and social. The Cajun butter sauce has the right balance of spice and richness, while the garlic butter provides a milder option. The downside is that the fried items, wings, po' boys, fried baskets, are mediocre and feel like afterthoughts. The focus should stay on the boils, where Crab du Jour excels. Crab du Jour ranks in the top half because they've mastered the seafood boil format and created an experience that's both delicious and entertaining. The freshness and customization options make it appealing to broad audiences. The boiling crab cracks the top 5 as the pioneer of the Viet Cajun boil scene that helped create an entire restaurant category. Founded in 2004 in Garden Grove, California, by Vietnamese-American entrepreneurs, the boiling crab has about 30 locations primarily in California and Texas. They helped popularize the bag boil concept that combines Vietnamese flavors with Cajun techniques. The signature whole shebang seasoning blend is legendary among fans. It's a complex mix of spices that creates layers of flavor rather than just heat. The seafood selection is extensive, including crawfish, various crabs, shrimp, mussels, and clams, all cooked to order in your chosen sauce and spice level. What sets the boiling crab apart is authenticity. They're not just copying Cajun boils, they're creating something new by incorporating Vietnamese ingredients and techniques. The result is seafood that's familiar yet distinctive, with flavor profiles you can't get elsewhere. The transparency about seasonal availability is refreshing. If crawfish isn't fresh, they'll tell you it's frozen. The gumbo and Cajun chowder are excellent additions that complement the boils and show deeper culinary knowledge. The boiling crab ranks 5th because they created something genuinely innovative while maintaining quality and authenticity. They're the gold standard for seafood boils, with devoted fans who consider them the best in the category. Hook and Reel earns number 4 as the seafood boil chain that's become the Mongolian barbecue of seafood. Customizable, consistent, and widely available. Founded in 2013 in Lanham, Maryland, Hook and Reel has successfully scaled the seafood boil concept to 50 locations nationwide, while maintaining quality and adding menu variety that appeals to broader audiences. The customizable boil format works well, but Hook and Reel goes beyond basic boils, with preset combo options for overwhelmed customers and additional menu items like raw oysters, fried lobster tails, and po' boy sandwiches that show culinary ambition. The raw oysters on the half shell are a nice touch that not every boil joint offers, and the steamed oysters with butter come out plump and flavorful. The fried lobster tail is an indulgent option that's surprisingly well executed, providing luxury within the casual boil format. The boils themselves are consistently good. Fresh seafood, flavorful sauces, proper spice levels, and reasonable prices. The Mongolian barbecue comparison is apt because they've created a build-your-boil experience that's accessible and reliable. Hook and Reel ranks 4th because they've successfully scaled seafood boils while adding menu variety and maintaining quality. They're proof that fast casual seafood can work when done thoughtfully. Hot and Juicy Crawfish claims top 3 as the boil chain that actually delivers on flavor promises with sauce that's genuinely addictive. Founded in 2007 in Las Vegas by Louisiana natives, Hot and Juicy has locations across Nevada, Arizona, California, Florida, Washington, D.C., and Virginia. Despite the smaller footprint, they've built a devoted following based on superior sauce and consistent quality. The signature Hot and Juicy sauce is what sets them apart. Customers consistently describe it as to die for, and the best sauce for seafood boil. The spice blend creates complexity rather than just heat, with layers of flavor that enhance rather than mask the seafood. Even when using frozen crawfish during off-season, Hot and Juicy handles them properly, ensuring they taste sweet rather than muddy. The crawfish are consistently fresh and properly sized, while other seafood options maintain the same quality standards. The restaurant has been featured on food shows like Man vs. Food, which has boosted their reputation beyond their limited geographic reach. Customer reviews consistently praise the sauce quality and overall flavor experience. Hot and Juicy ranks 3rd because when they get it right, which is most of the time, they deliver the best-tasting seafood boil experience available. The sauce is genuinely special, and the execution is consistently excellent across locations. Papado Seafood Kitchen earns number 2 as Cajun Heaven in chain restaurant form. This family-owned Houston-based chain, mostly in Texas and the South, represents authentic Gulf Coast and New Orleans cuisine at a scale that maintains quality. The menu reads like a compendium of Louisiana favorites that most chains wouldn't dare attempt. Papado serves everything from fried alligator appetizers to crawfish étouffée, shrimp and grits, blackened catfish, seafood gumbo, and even frog legs, dishes that require genuine skill and cultural knowledge to execute properly. The portions are generous, and the flavors are bold and authentic. The seafood gumbo has proper dark roux and complex flavors that take hours to develop. The crawfish étouffée features real crawfish in rich, properly seasoned sauce that tastes like it came from a Louisiana kitchen. The fried alligator is tender and flavorful, not the rubbery mess that most places serve. Quality is remarkably consistent across locations, which is impressive given the menu's complexity. The lively atmosphere makes it feel like a Mardi Gras party, while the food delivers authentic flavors that transport you to the bayou. Papado ranks second because they've successfully scaled authentic Cajun and Creole cuisine, while maintaining the bold flavors and generous portions that define the region's food culture. It's a seafood carnival that actually delivers on its promises. Taking the number 1 spot is Legal Seafoods, the Boston institution that sets the gold standard for seafood chain excellence. Founded as a fish market in Cambridge, Massachusetts in 1950 and opening its first restaurant in 1968, Legal Seafoods has maintained family ownership while growing to over 20 locations, mostly in New England. Their motto, "If it isn't fresh, it isn't legal," isn't just marketing, it's a promise they've kept for over 70 years. Their New England clam chowder is so renowned, it's been served at multiple presidential inaugurations. That's not just restaurant success, that's cultural significance. The fried clams with bellies are often cited as the best anywhere, featuring sweet, briny clams in perfect light batter. The raw bar showcases pristine oysters, little necks, and other shellfish that taste like they were just pulled from the ocean. The fish is sourced daily from trusted suppliers, and the kitchen knows how to prepare it simply and perfectly. Grilled with lemon, broiled with herbs, or in classic New England preparations. They've resisted the temptation to grow rapidly nationwide, instead focusing on maintaining standards that have made them legendary. The restaurants feel upscale, but not stuffy, family-friendly, but sophisticated. Every dish showcases the ingredient rather than hiding it under heavy sauces or complicated preparations. The lobster rolls feature sweet, fresh lobster meat with just enough mayo to bind it. The fish and chips use fresh cod in light, crispy batter that doesn't overpower the delicate fish. Legal Seafoods earns the top spot because they've spent over 50 years perfecting seafood preparation while maintaining standards that put them in a class by themselves. They're not just the best seafood chain, they're one of the best seafood restaurants in America, period. There you have it. Legal Seafoods takes the crown as America's best seafood chain, and honestly, it's not even close. From the frozen mediocrity at the bottom to the fresh excellence at the top, this ranking shows that seafood success comes from sourcing quality ingredients, proper preparation techniques, and refusing to compromise standards for rapid expansion. The lesson here is clear. Seafood requires respect, skill, and uncompromising standards. The chains at the top understand that fresh fish and proper technique can't be faked or shortcuts, while those at the bottom have forgotten that seafood is supposed to taste like the ocean, not the freezer. What do you think? Did your favorite seafood chain get robbed? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more food rankings that separate the fresh from the frozen.